Wait, what? We're short on ingredients for one person? What are you talking about, Mary? We've got enough for everyone. There are 7 of us in total, but there's only enough for 6. That's because 6 portions are enough. We're having a family barbecue today, right? You're an outsider. We decided to have a family barbecue during the summer break, with 7 of us in total. At that gathering, my husband Sean dismissed me as an outsider. But this wasn't the first time this had happened. Sean often bullied me in ways that the family wouldn't notice. When I glanced outside, I saw the family chatting in the yard, but it seemed they couldn't hear us. It was all going according to Sean's plan, and he was grinning smugly. Anger welled up inside me, but I calmly responded. Sean, what are you talking about? Make it enough for 7 people right now. I'll make it if you beg. If not, shut up and start preparing for the barbecue. Just do as I say. No, I don't need my portion. It's your mistress's portion that's missing. It's a shame if she can't eat after I went through the trouble of inviting her. The word mistress made Sean freeze as if time had stopped. It seemed my initial strike was highly effective. Sean had been bullying me for a long time, but I was already prepared to fight back. Sean, I know everything. I'll make you understand what you don't know. Today, I came here determined to fight back against Sean. Normally, I would have backed down, but for the first time, I glared at Sean. Sean flinched a bit but quickly started to argue back. What nonsense are you spouting? There's no way I have a mistress. Stop making things up. He responded angrily as usual. He probably thought I'd obediently listen if he raised his voice. But this time, I wasn't gonna let things go his way. Talia, was that her name? Here, I mentioned the mistress's name to Sean. Realizing I wasn't bluffing because I knew the mistress's name, Sean started to say something but choked on his words. Where did you hear that name? He mumbled in a barely audible voice, not sure if he was talking to himself or asking me. Sean was visibly agitated and began to fidget. Wait a minute, Mary. We're not done talking. Ignoring Sean, who was distraught, I tried to join the group of relatives who were chatting. Sean, realizing I was about to reveal everything, grabbed my shoulder roughly in a panic. The force of it made me lose my balance, and I almost fell. That's dangerous. Let go of me. My concerned brother-in-law and his wife noticed my voice and looked our way. Seeing Sean stubbornly trying to stop me by grabbing my arm, the family understood something serious was happening. Is everything okay? You look upset, they asked as they approached me. Actually, there's something I need to tell you all. Seizing the opportunity, I began to appeal to the family. Sean tried to silence me. This is between us. No need to discuss it here. Sean desperately tried to shut me up, but my father-in-law intervened. Mary said she has something to tell us. You stay out of it. Unable to defy his father, Sean reluctantly let go of my hand and muttered under his breath. My father-in-law ran a company, and Sean worked under him. As the son of the company's CEO and the heir, Sean couldn't oppose his strict father in either his professional or personal life. Actually, Sean has been bullying me for a long time. Today, he said I didn't get any food because I'm an outsider. My in-laws, Sean's uncle, and my brother-in-law and his wife looked at each other in disbelief. That's hard to believe, given Sean's usual behavior. Sean's uncle said, and my brother-in-law and his wife nodded. Of course not. I've always been responsible, both at home and work. I spend my time off doing family activities like this barbecue. I get along well with business partners, and I recently closed an important deal. The issue with the food is just because you miscounted. Don't blame me for your mistake. Feeling emboldened by the reactions of his uncle and brother-in-law, Sean spoke to me triumphantly. But I ignored him and continued speaking. Not only that, but Sean is also cheating on me. My revelation caused a stir among the family. The idea that Sean was cheating seemed unbelievable to them. Of course, it did. Sean had a good reputation among the family. He was seen as a capable supporter of his father's company and was well liked. Though my in-laws didn't say it out loud, they were proud of him. To convince them, I showed them the video evidence of his affair that I had recorded on my phone. After noticing Sean's suspicious behavior, I followed and filmed him. Sean, thinking I would never suspect him, had openly met his mistress, making it easy for me to capture the evidence.
Unbelievable! Not only bullying his wife, but also cheating?
Seeing the video, the family believed me. However, Sean, thinking he could still talk his way out of it, began to deny everything calmly.
You all know me well, don't you? Do I seem like the kind of guy who would bully my wife or cheat? This video must be a case of mistaken identity. She just saw someone who looked like me and got all worked up.
As Sean began to speak confidently, my mother-in-law said, "Maybe it's a misunderstanding on Mary's part." Sean, relieved by her words, came at me with renewed confidence.
If you're gonna accuse someone of cheating, you better have more solid evidence.
Sure. Nodding at Sean's words, I made a call and summoned someone. Sean, who had been acting cool, changed dramatically when this person arrived.
Why are you here?
Seeing the person who appeared, Sean couldn't hide his shock.
Why are you surprised?
I just told you.
I asked you to prepare enough food for 7 people because your mistress wouldn't have anything to eat. It's a shame if she couldn't eat after I went through the trouble of inviting her.
Sean never thought I would actually bring his mistress, Talia, to the barbecue. Desperately, he said, "I don't know this woman." Despite being visibly shaken by the family's cold stares, Sean stubbornly kept insisting, "I don't know her. I haven't been cheating." Ignoring him, Talia spoke up clearly in front of everyone.
I was deceived by Sean. He told me he was single, and we were dating with the intention of getting married. Don't lie.
Since Sean had claimed to be single, Talia had no idea she was involved in an affair. It wasn't until I contacted her and revealed I was Sean's wife that she realized she had been tricked. From that moment, Talia agreed to help me, which led us to this point.
That's just what you two are saying.
There's no proof.
Maybe you're both conspiring to frame me.
Thinking there wasn't enough evidence to convict him, Sean tried to talk his way out again. That's when I decided to call in another ally.
Why are you here?
The most surprised by the new arrival was my father-in-law. Sean, too, was at a loss for words seeing the unexpected guest. Though Sean's uncle and brother-in-law didn't recognize him, my mother-in-law, who did, explained, "This is the CEO of one of our business partners." Confused but polite, my in-laws greeted Tom, the CEO of Gold Enterprises.
Thank you for always taking care of us. So, what brings you here today? This is a family gathering. How do you know Mary? Mary! You've never met him. Why bring an unrelated company CEO here?
While Tom smiled politely at my in-laws, he turned to Sean with a stern expression.
He's not unrelated.
Tom then called out to Talia, "Did you properly introduce yourself?" Talia, who had been observing from a distance, stepped forward to stand beside Tom.
Nice to meet you all again. Thank you for always looking after my grandfather. I'm Talia, his granddaughter. What?
Sean blinked rapidly, looking back and forth between Tom and Talia. My in-laws immediately understood everything and apologized deeply to Tom.
We are so sorry. How can we ever apologize enough for what happened to your precious granddaughter?
They hadn't realized that Sean's mistress, Talia, was the granddaughter of Tom, an important business partner. As Sean said, I originally had no connection to Tom. But during my investigation, I found out and contacted him through Talia. Tom, wanting to help his beloved granddaughter, willingly agreed to assist me.
Thanks to you, I was able to connect with Tom.
He opened his mouth to say something, but no words came out.
When I heard my dear granddaughter was deceived, I couldn't stand by. I offered to help Mary in any way I could.
Since Talia had been tricked into believing Sean was single, she was also a victim. Tom had hired a detective he knew to gather evidence of the affair, and I now had definitive proof. Legally, Sean had no way out.
I'm sorry. I didn't know Talia was your granddaughter, Tom. But I was serious about her. I planned to divorce Mary and marry Talia. Please believe me.
Tom clenched his fist and shouted, "Don't be ridiculous."
Because of you, my granddaughter's been hurt. You think I can believe a man who so easily betrays his wife? What have you done? You've destroyed the reputation of the company my father built with your foolish actions. Yes, you're a disgrace to the family.
Furious, Tom, along with my brother-in-law and uncle, moved to grab Sean. "Wait a minute, please." I hastily stopped the three men, and Sean turned to me with a relieved smile.
"Mary, you really are my wife after all."
Feeling disgusted by Sean's reaction, I coldly said, "I didn't help you."
Sean has more than just Talia. He's been using his position as the CEO's son to hit on female employees and force unreasonable work on the male employees.
Sean had been coercing female employees into dinners and drinks, and more. Because he was the CEO's son, the women felt they couldn't refuse and reluctantly complied. He'd also been dumping work on male employees and taking credit for their efforts. Using his position, he made it impossible for anyone to complain, and he did this regularly.
How do you know all that? You haven't seen it yourself. You're making this up.
I had professionals investigate and report back. We have solid proof, and we have testimonies from both the female and male employees.
Your claim about being serious with Talia is a lie.
Sean was speechless at my words. There was significant evidence of his misconduct toward both female and male employees. Still, Sean, unwilling to admit defeat, tried to plead with Talia, saying, "Believe me, I was serious about you." But she pushed his hand away.
Stop embarrassing yourself. You've been hurting people around you for your selfish desires.
My own son, how disgraceful. My mother-in-law, holding her head in her hands, was supported by my sister-in-law. Everyone present stared coldly at Sean. Nobody was on his side.
So, is it all my fault? Everything's on me?
Sean, now defiant, started lashing out like a rebellious child.
I'm like this because of you. It's your bad parenting.
He began pointing at his parents and spewing insults.
How dare you speak like that? Having parents like you is my misfortune.
Sean started airing his grievances against his parents. Sean had always harbored resentment over his strict upbringing. He had an inferiority complex about his accomplished brother, but it was Sean whom his father chose as the heir to the company. His father was a strict man, and young Sean had always been afraid of him. This fear from childhood continued into adulthood. Though he worked at his father's company, Sean lacked the necessary skills and was always under pressure and stress. He covered for his incompetence by using his position to make others do his work. His closest junior male colleague was his primary victim. Under such circumstances, I met Sean. We were introduced by a friend, and neither my friend nor I had any idea about Sean's darker side before marriage. After we got married, Sean's attitude changed drastically. He controlled me to boost his own ego and maintain his mental stability. Sean married me only to have someone he could use like a slave to vent his stress. I took care of the housework and his personal needs like a maid, and I was also his emotional punching bag. To Sean, I was a convenient tool. That's why he never felt any guilt about cheating. Even now, exposed in front of the family, he probably just sees it as a hassle. If the family wasn't here, he would have berated and blamed me.
I acted this way because of the mental pressure my parents put on me. Your parenting was wrong. People like you are called toxic parents. Do you really believe that? You were raised without any hardships, and now you're talking like a child without any shame? Unlike me, my brother was treated well. It's discrimination between siblings.
Everyone present was shocked by his absurd excuses, but my in-laws listened with mixed emotions.
Yes, we might have been too strict because we had high expectations of you. But you're not a child anymore. As an adult, you should take responsibility for your own actions and decisions. That's right. Even if our parenting was flawed, that doesn't justify bullying Mary or cheating. You've hurt many people because of your actions.
But Sean didn't take their words to heart and continued to make unreasonable demands. It's unfair that I'm the only one being blamed. Mom and Dad, you should take responsibility too.
Your parents are right. Are you going to keep blaming others instead of taking responsibility for your actions? If you keep thinking like that, you'll regret it someday. Regret? I won't regret anything. I'm right, and that's final.
Sean maintained his defiant attitude. It was clear that reasoning with him was pointless.
Fine, I'll do what you all want. I'll divorce Mary. I'm the one dumping you.
He spat at me and then turned to his parents.
I'm cutting ties with you toxic parents too. I'll quit the company and live on my own. The company will be in trouble without me, but don't come crying to me later.
After his parting shot, Sean stormed out of the house. My brother-in-law and his wife, Tom and Talia, all watched him leave in stunned silence.
Mary, we are truly sorry. We apologize on behalf of our son. We're really sorry.
My in-laws apologized deeply to me.
It's not your fault. Thank you for standing by me.
It's baffling how Sean could have come from such in-laws. My in-laws apologized to Tom and Talia. Watching this made me even angrier at Sean for causing them such humiliation.
Even though you didn't know, it's true that my granddaughter hurt Mary.
Tom told my in-laws. Then he continued.
However, we will be considering a claim for damages against your son for violating Talia's rights. Of course. It will be a good lesson for him. And I apologize to Talia on his behalf. I'm deeply sorry. No, I am also a perpetrator towards Mary. I'm sorry for putting you in such an uncomfortable position, Talia. And thank you, Tom, for your cooperation. I'm sorry for involving you in this family dispute.
I expressed my gratitude to Talia and Tom for their help. Both assured me that they would always be there to assist if needed.
Thank you for standing by me. Although things ended up this way with Sean, I truly appreciate your support. We're the ones who should apologize for all the trouble our shortcomings have caused you. And that boy hasn't shown any remorse or regret. We'll make sure he takes responsibility. Please wait, Mary.
My mother-in-law, looking very regretful, was supported by the rest of the family who nodded in agreement. Although their words were kind, I shook my head and said, "It's okay. Even if we do nothing, Sean will definitely regret it someday." Everyone looked puzzled, but this wasn't bravado or a prediction. I smiled confidently, knowing that day would come. A month has passed since then. Right after that day, I moved into a newly rented condo by myself. With the help of a lawyer, my divorce from Sean was finalized. When we married, Sean had asked me to become a housewife, so I had quit my job. But now, I have found a new job with great conditions. As I was about to start my new life, I got a call from my sister-in-law. "It's been a while. What's up?"
I heard rumors that Sean's social media is blowing up. My husband thought you should know.
Really? Thanks for letting me know. I had no interest in Sean's social media, but my brother-in-law and his wife were worried that if Sean's house got doxed online, it might somehow cause trouble for me. After I left, Sean had been living alone in our old house. Apparently, he was getting harassing letters and prank calls every day. I quickly forgot about my sister-in-law's warning, but then my phone started ringing incessantly. All the calls were from Sean, and I ignored them for a while since I didn't want anything to do with him. But the calls became so frequent, even during work, that I had no choice but to answer.
"Hello? Finally, you answered. Stop ignoring me."
"We're not connected anymore. Don't call me. It's annoying. Bye." I was about to hang up when he frantically pleaded, "Wait, please. Just hear me out." Sean's call was about his social media blowing up. Videos of him harassing male and female employees had gone viral. The male employees he forced to do extra work and the female employees he pressured into going out with him had posted these videos. There were videos of Sean bossing around the male employees and coercing the female employees. It wasn't just these two, several other employees had also posted about his harassment. Watching these videos, it was clear how terrible Sean's behavior was. Even though publicly posting such videos is wrong, I could understand the anger of those involved. Due to the scandal, Sean couldn't find a new job and had to live in a hotel after his address was exposed online. He was running out of money and could no longer afford the hotel. He had tried asking his parents and relatives for help, but after his declaration of cutting ties with them, they refused. Now he was crying to me, saying I was his last hope. So you did all these horrible things at work. It's your own fault.
But they teamed up and secretly filmed me.
Sean didn't reflect on his actions, only insisting he was the victim. He wanted to sue the employees who had posted the videos, but they had already left the company, and Sean had no way to find their contact information or the money to hire a professional to investigate. I had known for a long time about the videos of Sean on social media, but I chose not to mention them. On the day of the family barbecue, if Sean had sincerely apologized, I would have told him. Back then, before the videos went viral, it could have been managed.
It's all your own doing. You said you'd live on your own. Surely you haven't forgotten your own words? Feel free to live your life however you want. I'm no longer part of it, so stop contacting me.
As I tried to hang up, he desperately pleaded, "You're the only one I can rely on. I regret everything I've done. I'm sorry." It was the first time Sean had apologized to me, but it didn't affect me at all. Had I heard those words at the barbecue, things might have been different. Ignoring Sean's continued pleas, I hung up and blocked his number. Sean was left to live with the consequences of his actions. Here's what I later heard from my in-laws. Eventually, the social media storm died down, but Sean was left physically and mentally damaged. Despite this, he had to keep working part-time jobs to survive. My in-laws visited me again to apologize after the social media incident. They told me they had decided to confront Sean as parents once more. They felt some responsibility for what happened and saw that Sean, now remorseful, was ready to start over as their son. I realized that if I had confronted Sean and talked things out sooner, our future might have been different. I regretted not standing up to him and failing to build a balanced relationship. Though the past can't be changed, and I probably won't see Sean again, I resolved to be stronger. My life continues, after all.